just would hate to.
That's what judge gets them off.
Yeah. Okay, Zoom is solved on this is for.
Oh, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Going in. We'll just approach the judge on how.
Okay.
All right, everyone, I am going to call the docket. When I call your name, let me know if you are here. If you don't answer, I'm gonna assume you're not here. In which case, it is not gonna be a great Friday's Eve for you. John Anthony Rodriguez. John Anthony Rodriguez. Mark Anthony Tino Alvarez. Amanda Christian. Nicholas Corpus. Nicholas Isaiah Corpus. In custody, we have Joshua Espinoza, Lisa Marie Garza. Lisa Marie Garza. In custody, we have Tyree Ranford. Jamaria Simmons. In custody, we have Trayvon Stevenson. Renee Garza Jr. Renee Garza Jr.
Judge, he's not here. I spoke to him yesterday. He was still trying to find transportation. I informed him that his appearance was managed.
All right, thank
I
you.
have not heard from him this morning.
All right, thank you. Angel Montoya. And counsel, I'll give him till 10.
Judge, I'd like to approach that after the document.
Sure. Michael Kilgore is in custody. Kent Yates, custody. Angel Montoya, I'm sorry, you're on the docket twice. Victor Garcia, custody. Pete Garcia, custody. Ron McKinney.
Good, man.
Thank you. In custody is Juan Carranza. Shane Riley. Renee Gardia. Renee Michelle Gardia. Paul Jones. Richard Murray. Richard Flores Murray. Amanda Christian. Christian Smith. Christian Smith.
Council President.
Thank you. Anna Denise Weaver. Virginia Serna.
Council President.
Okay. Brian Maldonado. Brian Maldonado. Stevie Ray Stokes. Edward Valdez. Looks like we're gonna be busy this morning. Gabriel Sosa, custody. Trayvon Stevenson, custody. Pete Garcia. Pete Garcia. Oh, he's in custody. Nevis Carrillo, custody. And that's you. Samantha Richards, custody. Christopher Ritchie, custody. Christopher Trinidad is at 11. Rudy Luna Jr.
President, Council Judge.
Thank you. Kay Johnson.
Here.
She's also President, Judge.
Thank you. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right, what is your name?
Nicholas Corpus, Your Honor.
All right, you need to sit on the first row.
Virginia Serna, here.
All right. All right, anyone else who came in late other than Virginia Serna? What's your name? All right. All right, everyone. Defense attorneys, you've been here before, so you know the rules of the court. Please follow those rules. It is Friday's Eve, so let's make it a great day because everybody is off tomorrow. That means that Monday is going to be a Monday and a Tuesday. So everyone, please confirm.
Bottom left. I didn't know it's just from the trial from yesterday. Right by Charles on the bottom left. Apologies, Louis.
It's a treasure hunt to find what you're. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. I'm just gonna.
I'll let you forget.
Yeah.
I'll look it up later.
It's a lot of them. Thank you.
I just walked from university, so I think it's like 4 now.
Jason, we have made sure, you know, the battery died on that computer over there. That's why everything shut down. So my mom is like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. And then Deputy Laura's like, yeah, we need to charge it. So I'm like, please leave that plugged in.
Oh, funny. No, of course.
Is it not?
And then so I'm just gonna go with it. It's gonna be- Okay. Cool. And then this.
On this,
I tried to set you up.
yeah, I know, but you- essential part.
Huh?
You're gonna have to be a little bit more detailed.
Okay,
So. once you arrive, then-
okay, I'll make it right in.
And you need to, like, if there's some one.
There's no one. Piece of the birth, hey, you're a mom. If this is essential, that essential household. duties, it's fine. I mean, the statute tracks essential household. But you're going to, just want that point, slow down.
That can't be good.
Okay. Okay. Well. I think- Do you mind having a clearance in anyone who's counts the hearing, client, when you're attorney, when you're lawyer, will find it. Okay, because she's, yeah, she's dead. If you literally don't.
Miss Johnson? Hey, Johnson, if you come forward, please.
Did you call me?
No, Johnson.
Hello.
On your application for occupational license, there's a couple more things I'm gonna want from your attorney. It's not your attorney's fault, it's just things that I'm asking for that
Sure.
he would have not known that I would be asking for.
Mhm.
So I realized that there's some transportation issues with you getting downtown. So when he gets me that information and sets it, which he'll be able to set it at any time we'll be here, you can appear by Zoom. Are you able to do? it?
Yes, ma'am. I Zoom on my AA meetings every day.
Okay, that way you won't have to come. down
Great.
here.
Great.
And state you're okay with her zooming in?
Yes, ma'am. No
All right,
objection.
so we'll just do it by Zoom.
Okay, and I'll tell her what you want, Judge, and so I'll get with the staff about maybe just recalling it on Monday morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But, I say Monday morning, but I'm expecting us to be closed at 8 in the morning, so it'll probably be about 11.
That's fine.
All right,
Just, you know, Ms. Johnson's been very compliant. She's not driving. So she's been very diligent about trying to get this done.
oh, no, and she's looking great, I can tell that she's in her sobriety. So that is
It helps.
fabulous. All right, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. I'm gonna run and get my glasses.
For a case of maybe.
Who is it?
I think that was the, 85. Yeah.
And I'm trying to get people filed applications, I'm sorry, I need to write something in there.
Okay. Yeah, looks like you have one of the case. Yeah. Credit card. One of his cases, two of his cases, I think you do on. So, which is the block use for case with them, it should be the one.
Other than for every. 4 or 5 years.
Virginia Serna.
Custody, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Serna, if you come down, please. All right, so what is happening with this case? I see that an offer was tendered and states you were to make contact with the complainant.
So Judge, defense has brought to our attention, there were 3 ag robbery CM warrants that were ran recent in the last week. We have no information on those, that they're not popping up in our system. So I don't know if SAPD or whichever agency has gotten that information to us just yet.
And Judge, in the past 5 days or so,
All right, if everyone could please whisper.
SAPD ran a warrant, 3 warrants for ag robbery with my client. She denies all the allegations. But I don't have any probable cause statement. I did make a phone call to that detective and given some very basic outline information, but I do need to figure out what's going on with specific facts. I don't know any of the complainants, locations, anything like that.
All right, so I'll recall this in December. Lance, would you have a date in December, no later than December 18th, please? And it is on Virginia Marie Serna.
Thank you, Judge.
And Lance, they're saying that she has some outstanding aggravated robberies and the state doesn't have it in their system, but
It's just barely new. Yeah.
it says it's fairly new.
December 14th.
All right, December 14th.
That's fine, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
So here.
And
Make a song, do it.
Lance, could you reset on her? She's in.
You're
custody.
aggravated. You're in charge.
Thank you.
Aggravated assault, you can read that? Send me for December 14th. We're reset to December 14th. So we're gonna figure out what's going on.
Rudy Luna? Yes.
It's her.
All right, who is the state on Rudy Luna?
I've been dealing with Hank this morning, Judge.
Okay.
All right, Judge.
Hello. So we have the discovery.
Yes, I've received it this morning, Judge. So that should complete discovery. I need some time, of course, to inspect those blood test records.
All right, so then this is going to be recalled. Lance, on Rudy Luna. Could you bring this back the first week in December? And state, have you checked it in often?
Yes.
Judge, it looks like we have, Daniel has.
What date? All right, December 7th. That will be your plea deadline date.
We'll go to sign it out here. Go see the word.
I appreciate that.
I was surprised on that.
Okay.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna waste your time talking. Well. When he gets there. Obviously, if we give it.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes, John.
Are you ready on Christian?
I am. Just one.
So where are we on today?
Judge, he has completed one of his classes that he needed to. He still has another class to do, one or two classes to do. He's just been crazy times and he's getting more money for his additional class. So we're almost there. We've asked for one more reset.
This is a pre-trial on Christian's. Can we give me a 30-day reset? Will that put this past December 9th? Well, no, I didn't put it past December 9th.
Judge, I'll be here on December 14th for another.
Are you able to put it on the 14th? All right, we'll see you on the 14th. Make sure you get those classes done, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get you a reset. 'Cause that's-
And council, you can discuss with your client about being on time. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Excused.
Yes. Have a great one.
Good morning. I'm going to try really hard to avoid slandering Judge Angelini on one of his decisions that I'm going to ask you to back the train up on.
You know, I don't like backing up trains on other judges' rulings.
Well, I know that, but it was when your house was out of sorts with you and you had him sit in for you. You want me to tell you what I'm doing?
Oh, yeah, what case is this?
Samantha Richards.
This is what is alleged to have occurred.
She was in Alpha House and she actually was going to be graduating the next morning. And on Sunday, she was trying to throw some trash away in the dumpster and the dumpster was too full. So she got up on the dumpster and she started jumping on the trash. It apparently jostled her GPS monitor. The people at GPS thought that that meant they'd sent a violation report in saying that she had attempted to remove her monitor. She didn't get them because of the way Alpha House operates. Oops. She was not able to get the message from him and call him back until Monday morning. He did that, left a message for him, called me, and I was.
Documentation from Alcohol that she was there and that they wouldn't let her call.
Well, they never let you call from Alpha Home. They will after the normal cycle, but she couldn't get hold of them until Monday morning. She can explain that to you. I've got multiple documents here there. I'd like to have her explain what each one is. They're all her certificates for being in Alpha Home and her graduation.
I understand that part, but is there someone from Alcohol who is going to say that when they couldn't get in touch with her, she was at the alcohol?
No, because they knew that she was in alcohol.
No, I mean, I need someone from alcohol to say, hey, she was at alcohol.
Okay, that was not the issue though. You're the first one that's raised that issue. Everybody else understood she was in alcohol. The issue was, did she try to remove her GPS monitor? She came in on Tuesday morning. I told her to wait in the hallway so I could make sure you were here. She didn't listen to that part. She came in and Judge Angelini was here. He put her in the box. I came in and he revoked her bond, doubled it, and put her in
Let me
jail.
just tell you what I need. What I need is, since the allegation is that she tried to cut off her monitor, am I right? And that's the allegation, the fact that she tried to cut off her GPS?
That's it.
All right. So
Samantha
what you're
Richards.
telling me is that she has told you, no, I didn't try to cut off my monitor. I was jumping in the trash bin. And I was actually at alcohol.
Yes,
And I was at home when I was jumping in the trash bin.
yes.
All right. And you're saying that she wasn't able to call from alcohol because of some rules they have?
They don't get the message to you. They don't hook somebody up with you immediately. And she got the message later. She tried to call and called back on Monday morning.
Okay, so that's what I need. I need somebody from alcohol. They can appear by Zoom to say, this is when I received a message that there was an issue with her GPS.
And
I need the GPS people to give me the location to show that she was actually at alcohol and dumping in the trash. And then I will have the information I need as far as whether or not she should be in custody or not.
And I'm not prepared to do that today because you're the first person that's raised the issue of whether she was at Alpha Home or not.
We can bring her back on Monday.
We may have to do that.
Okay, and I'll take care, we'll take care of it on Monday.
Now,
That's
if
the
we can have
information
if we can have the GPS person here, he can document that she was at Alpha Home because that's where she's been the whole time.
Okay.
what I'm gonna ask you to do is give her a PR bond now. Even if you go put the GPS back on,
And what did you charge me?
Aggravated robbery, Judge.
×2.
Yeah, I'm not giving her PR on.
Well,
I mean, if you want to speak with Judge Maharan, see if she'll get, he'll get her PR bond. I don't want to.
you know that I love you like a sister.
I
I
know.
want you to be the one that makes the decision on this. But I got blindsided and already she was too far gone for me to be able to back it up and wait
Well, I
till
mean,
you
I
were
was
here.
looking for a PR bond, but if everything pans out and I decide to change the ruling, I don't know, I will take that in consideration and set it in front.
I may not be able to get anybody from Alpha House to come and say, oh,
They can zoom in.
GPS can do that, though. They can tell you that's where she's been at for the last 6 weeks. Or those 6 weeks when she got arrested.
Okay. All right, so yeah, just, you can have them, are you all gonna have any objection to GPS people zooming in or alcohol people zooming in?
No, I mean, as long as they can fully testify about everything, if she's been tampering or anything like that, we're not gonna have any objections about that.
So
coming
just
in.
have them, and we can do it on a Monday or whatever date you wanna do it on.
I'll do it Monday, if that's, you know, but you're saying I have to bring somebody from Alpha House because the GPS can say she was at Alpha House.
But see, that doesn't really take care of all of my concerns based upon Judge Angelini's ruling.
Yeah.
So,
She came in here on Tuesday morning and still had the monitor on her leg.
now, I understand what you're saying, counsel, and I am internalizing it. But my understanding from the conversation is that it wasn't that she was able to remove it, it was that she was tampering. Am I wrong in that?
That's the word that was used.
Okay,
And I don't have any further information other than that, so.
and if you want to confirm with the state, you can confirm with them about it and see what they say, because they may say something different.
I gotta, we can do that.
Okay, here, let me talk to him.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
I knew that you would.
It happens. Mhm.
They're also scanning some of our bags. They were the extra.
Oh, yeah. Let me just tell you.
Another.
Yeah, let me just tell you, you know what? They still listen, you know where they don't listen? When they're out there. Then everybody knows. Jamaria Simmons.
Coming, Judge.
Then after Simmons, it's gonna be called Jones.
Also mine. Mr. Simmons is in the wheelchair. Can, you want him to wheel up here? Or can you?
Yes.
Okay. We're just, there's still some surveillance discovered that was just uploaded, so I'm letting the judge know that I'm gonna ask for another discovery setting so I can make sure I have everything on the discovery. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's, okay, sorry.
So I understand your kind was shot.
Yes, and you've been kind enough to reset us until he was able to get out of the hospital and be here, so we appreciate that.
All right, so where are we on the discovery? Ryan?
Recently, Judge, there was some what's alleged to be surveillance stuff that was uploaded. I haven't, my office is still in the process of getting all that downloaded on our system, so I'm just asking for a discovery, another discovery setting. So I can review all that and make sure we have everything we're supposed to have. It was just recently added on e-discovery.
All right. Lance, can you set this for November 30th? All right, so that's gonna be your last discovery day.
Okay,
And after that, it's gonna be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date.
okay, Judge.
And state on November 30th, he's prepared to make an offer
Yes, ma'am.
that encompasses both his cases.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further.
All right, Lance, will you reset form and then your excuse.
Okay.
Mr. Simmons. And how do you pronounce your first name?
Jamarie.
Jamarie. All right, I'll remember that.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Reach out and almost, I know we set up.
No, it's just sometimes at the ends, the state has the information and they uploaded in the system, which everybody's doing electronic now. Sometimes it's not the best. So I would just give people hard copy of who you got, so that way there's no issue with the uploading. So once they review this, if there is more discovery that the state response, they have to move it to the counts. But this is the last day of me to have a date where they're talking about the government. So this is everything that's very
I'm pretty well in yourself.
Yeah, and then I just said it's probably a week
Yeah.
later for pre-deadline days. And at that time, they'll need to let me know whether or not you can accept the state's offer or not. And then if you choose not to, there's gonna be a jury trial, and this year's trial will probably occur in the new year, since we already have a bunch of offers.
Any good trips coming?
Carl Jones,
Nothing good. Oh, yeah. Watch the car race.
all right, what is the update on veterans treatment for it?
If you don't mind, I'll ask your trustee associate to step up and update us.
Hi, Judge. Something similar to what happened in a case yesterday. Mr. Jones is currently waiting for an evaluation to be done by the BJO. And from my understanding, there's been a little bit of phone tag happening between the two parties. So they are having graduation today. Tomorrow's holiday. We're hoping to get the evaluation done next week sometime. So we're asking for a 2-week.
All right, Lance, if you can put this on November 30th as well. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I've seen all of them. You're right with me.
And that's for veterans treatment for it.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
And I'll let you know that.
All right, thank you. Anna Weaver.
Veterans Street.
Good morning. Judge.
Good morning, how are you doing?
I'm here, still here.
All right, Ms. Weaver, they're dismissing your case and saying that restitution has been paid in full. Do not come back here for this again, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, after you get a reset.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, you speak. Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm sure they can find you with it. So because you came down. That they were asking.
What's up?
Was the rest.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Oh, take the state follow this. No, it's not in the restaurant. She can try to have it expired in the next 5 days. So nobody's going to receive the whatever rest. If you actually get it, somebody keeps it in their system, or somebody talks about it, that's a problem. Nevis, Carrillo,
I'm here, Judge. And Judge, the state doesn't really have an update for you on this at all. I'm gonna give the court an update.
all right, so this is with regards to competency evaluation.
Yes, I filed a motion to have her reevaluated for competency that was done 6 weeks ago. Checked with the clerks in the back. They said there's nothing in the computer beyond the motion. But I talked to my client right now. She said she was evaluated yesterday by a doctor. So we're just waiting a final report to come out for competency, and then we can go from there.
All right, let me send an email to see when they're gonna have that ready. So if you'll just give us a moment, I'll send an email down, see when the report is gonna be completed.
That'd be fine, Judge.
Thank you.
He says I'm fine, but it's hard to not hard to convince the nurses and the guards, but I think it's because to the fact that I might not ask a question like how to get home if I take the bus, but I have money to get home, cab ride and things like that, and my parents can take me home. Thank you. I love everybody. I hope we have a nice holiday.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you, and I hope you have a nice holiday too.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna try to get this solved as quickly as possible for you, okay?
All right.
All right.
Go ahead and have a seat. Judge, while you do that, can I be excused to a different court?
Yes,
I'll be back.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
John Anthony Rodriguez. John Anthony Rodriguez. Oh, just have a seat. Mark Anthony Alvarez. Oh, thank you. Lisa Marie Garza. Lisa Marie Garza. Renee Garza. Renee Michelle Gardia. Richard Flores Burry. Brian Maldonado. Stevie Stokes. All right, you need to take a seat on the first row. Edward Valdez. Edward Valdez.
I would.
My approach,
Yes.
just I spoke with Michael about this. I represent this gentleman on this case and 2 cases in 13, and I was posting the bonds in 13 when the bondsman went off this bond. Because he's in jail, but he's been in jail for 30 days. I just wanted to see if you would grant it and set it at the same amount, because I'll post the bond. We were not trying to get him out of getting the mental health court. And I submitted an affidavit from the complainant.
So basically, we're just switching over bonds.
Yes, yeah, I don't know if they do substitution of bonds in district court, it'll just be easier this way. I'm already on the case.
And what is the complainant's name?
It is Angelique Mathis.
Absolutely, I already have a note, well, that should be.
Yeah, it is. It's a full no contact. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing I need to ask you.
Who's on GPS for tracking me?
Hey, you're like George Costanza, you could be a handball. You remember when he was a handball?
Yes.
But I will tell you, you know what my favorite episode of Seinfeld is? I've had a chance to think about it. You know, I love that episode.
Yeah.
But one of the other episodes that people don't remember, do you remember when Kramer decided that he wanted a screen door for his apartment? And he was treating it as though it was a front porch. And so children will run by and throw baseballs. And Jerry's like, what are you doing? And he was celebrating 4th of July with sparklers on his front porch that was outside his
That was
apartment.
such a fun show.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just gonna follow off previous one.
All right, thank you, Jake. Hello
You're
there.
welcome.
Great job.
And so now we wait for everybody to come, but we will be breaking. Yeah, they do, but they sent us some other papers still. for the most part. And then they have some agencies, then they have CSI, which are advice on investigations. With those, there's.
This is a.
One is saying. That's. No. When all else fails, we sell.
Usually with CSI, defense attorneys normally don't challenge their collection unless it's some type of DNA, unless they think there's more than one party involved, and so they say maybe there's a mix-up. But otherwise, CSI, they just go out, collect things, and then they bring them in.
Yes.
Yes.
My client gets a cuarto. I
Mhm.
found him. He's supposed to be here in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you'll let them know in the back so they can have his file.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And watch, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh, well, good.
Trayvon Stevenson. Who's here for Trayvon Stevenson?
I'm present.
Thank you. Good morning. So what is happening with these cases?
Judge, I talked to I actually, Mr. Buck about the cases and I need to evaluate his new case. And I haven't had a chance to do that. I didn't realize it was, I talked to him yesterday actually about it.
Yeah.
And didn't realize it was on today. And obviously we're in trial, but if I could get, the state would be requesting just a 2-week reset really quickly. And if I'm able to evaluate it, we may have something worked out that would be beneficial, mainly for defense, but the state would maybe be able to go with it.
All right. So Mr. Stevenson, you understand what's going on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the state wants some time to look at things in order to make a fair offer to your attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're currently in a murder trial, so it's hard for them to give your case 100% attention. You understand? All right. So if we recall this, do y'all want to recall for the end of November or the first week in December?
If we could do end of November, Judge, that, I think,
I think we
we had
already have,
another case reset to November 30th.
yes.
Okay, if we could have that date, that would work for us. Thank you, Judge.
That'd be
All
fine,
right.
State Judge.
So you understand why it's being reset for November 30th? All right, and if your attorneys or the state want to come back sooner than that, all they have to do is let the court know and we'll bring it back sooner, okay? All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state. Judge.
And why are you limping?
I was in protective custody. I asked them to move and then word got back from prison from other defendants on the first case. So I got jumped in the main judge.
All right, so what is happening with that? So are you in protective custody now or you in general?
It's not because I couldn't tell them the full story because they wouldn't move me. I put on the kiosk when I first got in there to get moved. They didn't move me. They just moved me to basically a pod where it was nothing but gang members. I asked them to move me again. They moved me to another pod where it was just nothing but gang members.
Okay, we're gonna take care of that today.
Thank you, Judge.
So just have a seat and I'm gonna, if there's no objection, I'm gonna call the sheriffs and we're gonna figure out
No, Judge.
why this happened. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. And counsel, if you'll just wait while I do that.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're gonna go on a short recess. Oh, please be seated. All right, Mr. Trayvon, Mr. Stevenson, the deputy is going to take you back. That issue that you're having, that's going to be solved. And then we're going to have medical, at least they're going to have medical look at you about your leg, okay? All right, so Deputy Laura, if we could get him back.
We'll get it.
Go ahead. Yes, and they said they'll take care of that this morning. And Deputy Mejia, with regards to him, can you make sure who he's on the bus with or whatever? That nothing happens? All right, thank you. Amanda Christian.
I know that Michael is in the hallway right now. He'll be right back.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think so. You want that thing? I could use that already.
Yeah, we can. Sorry.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 4419, State of Texas versus Amanda Christian. Do I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal, state.
Suzanne Kramer from Miss Kristan.
Ms. Kramer, you're on that
Oh,
side.
I'm sorry. Never.
That's okay.
And I didn't know it's a better job. It's been too long.
And are you Miss Amanda Christian?
Yes.
You entered a plea on September 11th of no contest. And we're here today for sentencing. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 6 years. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state is silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
I have, Judge.
Say guys,
Any objections to the PSI report?
None.
none from the state.
All right. Any witnesses from either side?
None
None,
from the state.
none from the defense other than whatever Miss Kristan wants to talk to you about.
Okay. All right. Would she like to be called as a witness?
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right. Well, the court, the state is silent. The court will hear argument. Why should I grant deferred adjudication in this case?
Judge, if you look at her criminal history, it's very light. She had some juvenile case, but it got dismissed with deferred, and a lot of the other cases along the way when she was younger had been dismissed. She has fully accepted responsibility for what she did to Enrique. She was quite upset because she had believed that he had been threatening her children driving by the house, threatening them at one point, pointed a gun. She recognizes, and it states in the PSI, that that was an absolutely incorrect way to handle this situation. And I do, you know, it says that she's in the pre-contemplation stages of change. I disagree with that. I think she's absolutely understanding that she, you know, would benefit in the future for many, the resources probation has to help her, like life skills, or I guess that's that cognitive course, to help her better handle stressful situations. I asked her if she ever sees those people, Enrique or Rosa, in the neighborhood. She said she hasn't seen them since this happened. I also know and made sure that we were not going to have an issue with this, that she would absolutely be clean today if you've tested her. So I think just based on the history and based on her awareness of what she did was wrong and she handled the situation badly, she's a very good candidate for deferred adjudication.
All right, so I don't understand why she would attack the father of her children at the HEB and attacked the wife, and all of this is done in front of children.
And I can call her as I mean, a lot of the details are in that report, but I can call her if you want her to explain it. But there have been quite a number of incidents leading up to that day where she believed that the father was threatening the family, her family, driving by the house, pointing a gun at the children. Of course, he's probably going to say he didn't do that. But I think that's why she was, you know, kind of kicked into not really thinking mode and protecting her children. The incident, I think, really started with Rosa, but then she didn't handle it well with Enrique.
All right, is there anything you want to say?
I should have defended myself.
You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
my name's Amanda Cristan.
All right, and do you have questions for her, or you just want her to speak?
Well, Amanda, you heard what the judge was wanting to know. Why did this happen?
I defended my son, and I should have defended my son differently. The father of my son, when he was 4 years old, abused him. I left that alone, and then this time he put out a gun on my son, and not more than 6 days later, I saw him at HEB and I blew it.
Did you file a police report?
No, ma'am, I did not. And that's what I should have done.
No,
Now-
why didn't she file a police report? Thank you,
Yeah,
counsel.
that was good, because I asked her that in the hall. Why wasn't there a police report filed? So answer that question. You talked to me about your mother?
It was something wrong on my side. I should have called the cops and made a report. And I didn't, but I didn't.
She actually did give me a reason, which seems like about your mother, and you didn't want to get your mother's not going to get in trouble here if you tell the judge that, you know, when you didn't make a police report, 'cause your mother had been there and you didn't want her getting in any trouble.
No, but that has nothing to do with this case.
But it was something earlier that had happened that was still part and parcel of Enrique, your problems with Enrique, right?
Mm.
Okay, well, it's something in the PSI that I asked her about. And I thought it was trouble with Enrique.
So I want to know, why wasn't a police report filed if you're saying that your ex was threatening the children? I don't understand that.
It wasn't a constant threat. It was just that my son saw him at the park and my son started telling him that he's a low-life father and he should feel ashamed of himself. And when they were coming home from the park, Enrique passed by my son and put out a gun on both my sons. And then that's when I saw him.
So why didn't you file a police report?
For my security, I didn't.
All right, this story sounds a little bit odd to me because she didn't see any of this.
I didn't.
So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think if her son comes up and says, Daddy just pulled a gun on me, that's going to upset any parent. You know, and then he doesn't live in that neighborhood, but then she sees him at her HEB and he doesn't live over there. And I think that just kind of set her off.
Yeah, but there's nothing, is there something in the stipulation that says, I saw him at the HEB? And I don't mean when you've had chance to contemplate and you're talking to the probation officer. I mean, is there something in the police report that says he had just threatened my son, so that's why I'm here?
I'm willing to do a lie detector and pay it out my pocket as well, ma'am. Everything I am saying is.
Oh, we're
true.
past the point of lie detector. You've already entered your plea. And then your counsel will tell you lie detector tests are not admissible.
I mean, within the statement of the PSI, of course, this is her discussion. I would need to see the police report, but this is what she has maintained to me from the get-go. Her story is never altered, that, you know, she felt, first of all, she was very upset because she believed her son when he told her a few days earlier that he had pointed a gun at him. And then she saw him in an HEB that is not his HEB, and I can, you know, and her story has never wavered from that. Hey, Michael's gonna pull the police report.
All right. Oh, what we will do before we continue with this hearing, can you give me a UA? All right, and you're not allowed to leave the courtroom.
That's fine.
Thank you, Judge. Go ahead, Chief.
And Lance, on, what is her name? Just 1 second, I'll give you the name. On Miss Carrillo, I received an email from Angela, and Angela is saying that she hasn't been evaluated and she's on next week's schedule. Yeah, so can we, let me see the file on Carrillo. Let me see if I still have it. Oh, no, that's fine. Lance, on this one, since they say her evaluation will be next week, can you put it in December? And let's do it maybe sometime in December before the 19th.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. Here are Carrillo. You're welcome.
Boss. She tells me that every day. I'm the boss. I don't know. Jake.
Juan Diego Carranza. All right, where are we with regards to the expert?
So Judge, the expert is on board and has some documentation. However, he needs the DPS DNA packet. And I believe the state ordered that today. And I think according to Mr. Villarreal, that really doesn't take that long for them to produce. This is not like a 6-month thing.
I emailed this morning, Judge, and they already responded that it's been reported to the records department. They responded to the email within a couple minutes. So obviously I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but I'm hoping that we should get it fairly quickly. And as soon as we get it, we'll obviously upload it from Ms. Christian to review with her expert.
All right, so what are you anticipating?
It's DPS, so I feel like that's asking me to take Vegas odds, Judge.
Okay.
I'm hoping that within a week we should be able to get it. Because it's not a matter of doing the work, it's just compiling all of the bench notes, et cetera, for us to turn on.
I mean, if the court wanted like a 30-day reset for a status, we could do that if that's what you'd like. Whatever the court would want.
Can we put this on November 30th? All right, November 30th. And Lance, that'll be for discovery on the DNA upload from DPS. All right, thank you.
Judge.
I love the pen.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe I'll be excused.
Yes. Patrick Jenkins.
Present, Your Honor, that's not on today's document.
Yes.
Just need some guidance from the court.
Sure.
Mr. Jenkins has an open warrant from this county on an at-large indictment
for carrying a weapon in a prohibited place to San Antonio Airport.
Mhm.
I emailed the prosecutor, Mr. Jenkins, who was around here earlier this week in anticipation, because we filed our motion to set a bond. We were awaiting a hearing with Judge Nada. It's not been set. As luck would have it, he got into a fender bender on the way to work yesterday in Fairfax, Virginia. They ran his driver's license, saw that he had a warrant. He's now in custody in Fairfax, Virginia with no bond set.
Okay.
I don't know if that magistrate is going to set a bond or not. I thought maybe if I could get an agreement from the state, we might be able just to agree on a bond to see if he can bond out over there. Get.
All right, well, we've dealt with something similar to this.
Yes,
And it's gonna be very hard depending on how Fairfax works.
yes.
But if you all will talk with Judge Nahara,
We
he'll
will.
put it on there right away and he'll probably set a bond for you all.
Okay, and we may be able to agree and then talk to. Where is he physically located, Judge?
In the basement,
Thank you.
yes.
I'll-
Find the smallest room,
I will.
because when they built this courthouse, nobody, it seems the powers that be didn't anticipate that maybe there would be other courtrooms that will be needed. So
Judge.
much like the parking garage.
My only fear is that if we set a bond here, that might cross up them actually setting a bond in Fairfax, and I think he's having that hearing.
Do you know if Fairfax has a public defender's office?
I was in contact with a private attorney over there, and he told me it's 50-50 whether they get a bond set, which I figured would be the answer.
Oh, yeah, you should probably Google and talk to the prosecutor over there.
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
All right.
sure. Samantha Richards. Yeah, I don't think they're ready for this. I've already given, she
When Mr.
can,
Young comes back, I'm ready.
okay. Amanda Christian, we're just waiting for the results on that.
Well. There was two. Like, causing the difference. It technically is an offense, not, it's not correlated with evidence. That one's correct. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's fine. We're gonna change it to something else. Well, your guys, oh, you can't be on. You guys are shit. History out of Florida that we don't know. And how you're shocked. Probably some other people. I mean, it's happened before. It's kind of weird too, and then
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Hey. Well, it's not very, it's not about the size. Yeah, just all this, all this. No, I mean, but no. I get really close to that science. Oh, yeah. They still sort of fight. You know, I don't know. I mean, he did pick up the trade. It's a mystery. How can you understand it was? So we would have to resolve those. Yeah, the trouble is. Before she. If it was a country issue.
All right, we're gonna go back on the record. In 2023 CR 4419, State of Texas versus Amanda Christian. All right. So probation has informed me that the test was negative.
Yes, Judge.
What is going on? You're still under oath. What is going on with these CPS cases?
They're gonna close it. She informed me she was gonna close it before Christmas. It was just an allegation with my mother, because my mother helped me with my fourth child, Sadie, and she got very attached to her. Something happened with her disgusting husband.
Well, really
so
quickly though, I want to make sure the judge understands. The kids are with you though.
Yes, besides my oldest, my 20 years old. She's with her fiance.
Okay, so you were saying,
Yes, ma'am. that, so because of that, I had to remove my daughter away from my mother's home. And, so,
Why was your daughter with your mother in the first place?
because they were really attached to each other. When I had my daughter, I was staying with my mother, and they got really attached to each other. And so she was like, the favoritism to my mother. I know, but, so.
I'm sorry, the court reporter cannot hear you because you're trailing off.
Yes, ma'am. Just that, my mother's attached to my daughter, and my daughter's attached to my mother as well. And,
See, and understanding that we don't know the circumstances, so that doesn't really explain to the judge why, so your daughter wanted to live with your mother?
no, no, she doesn't want to live with my mother.
Okay, so
why
here's
was-
the thing. There are other things that are going on in your life, and you're expecting me to unpack all these suitcases you have in your life, and you got the suitcases locked, and here I am trying to figure out the combination to the suitcases. So your daughter ends up living with your mom. Why?
She's not living with my mother, ma'am. She's living with me. When my daughter was born, I think till she was 3 or 4 years, almost 4 years old, I was living with my mother. My mother got very attached to her. And so my mother's husband disrespected me twice. And when my daughter, that's 20 years old right now, when she was 14, he tried to rape her.
No. You're going from A to Z, and you're skipping the other letters in the alphabet. So you have your daughter.
Yes,
You're living with your mother when you have your daughter.
yes, ma'am. This
And are
was-
your other children living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying your mother became attached to your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
At that time, your daughter was 3 or 4 years old.
From birth to 3, 4 years old.
You move out of the house at some point?
Yes.
Did you leave your daughter with your
No.
mom? All right, continue.
Yes, ma'am. And so my mother's husband assaulted me twice. And then he tried to rape my daughter when she was 14. My brother had to choke him off of my daughter. And so so that's why I removed my daughter 100% because my mother doesn't want to leave him till right now. She's still with him. So I told my mother while she's with her husband, I want no part of her.
So when did you remove your daughter from your mom?
About 3 years ago, ma'am.
And how old was she?
Right now, she is 13. She must have been 9 going on 10 or 10 years old now.
So when you removed your daughter from your mother, were you living with your mother?
No, ma'am.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. I just asked you about your daughter being left with your mother and you're leaving, and you said that didn't happen. Did I imagine that?
I'm having trouble following this.
Because I just asked you, did you leave your daughter with your mother? And you say no. And then now you say, oh yeah, I left her there. And then when she was 13, 14, I removed her.
I removed her from her life. Yes, my daughter would stay nights with my mother on the weekends, if anything. But I removed her like 100%. Like me and my children are no longer speaking to my mother at all because she prefers to stay with her husband. She says in order for me to be forgiven by God, I must forgive. And I do believe that we all should forgive, but I mean, we're not, the children of God is not done. We should forgive, but we don't have to hang around with them anymore. And I don't want nothing to do in.
How old is your youngest child?
My youngest is 5.
All right, where are your children now?
At school.
And who else is in the home with you?
My husband and my children.
And he's here, Jeff.
Okay. And so I'm reading the report where it says that the last contact you had with your ex-husband, the father of your children, was 10 years before this incident.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, I don't understand why this incident happened when you hadn't seen him for 10 years.
I haven't. He's never helped me with my children that I have with him. He's never was, he never paid child. Well, actually I have a child support case open for him, but he never presents himself to the court or anything. So I don't get anything from him. And plus he's from Mexico. So I guess it's hard for them to find him. And so, and then when this happened to my son, Enrique, that's when I saw him at HEB and I blew it. And there is cameras there that saw everything. The camera would also show that he parked right in front of me. And I think he did that on purpose and because he knows I have a Honda, a black van Honda. And I believe he saw me and the cameras would clearly show that he parked right in front of me before the incident happened. I mean, it's before the incident happened.
Any questions?
No, I mean, I'm kind of sticking with what I said earlier. I mean, I think that.
Well, just 1 second. So you have no questions. Do you have questions?
sorry.
Because you're allowed to question with regards to.
I guess just as a matter of clarification, you said that you hadn't seen your ex in 10 years.
Yes,
How did he know then that you drove a black Honda?
because he always see my kids and I guess he knew I lived there by my children.
Okay, so had you seen him in 10 years or had you not seen him? in 10
No,
years?
I have not seen him in 10 years.
Okay, and then kind of going back to the why you kind of the circumstances of you leaving your mom's house, you said that her husband was sexually assaulting or attempting to sexually assault your daughter.
He was attempting to rape.
Okay, and how old was she?
She was 13 or 14 at that time.
Okay, is this the same one that you is like 13 or 14 now?
No,
So
she is gonna be 20 in June.
So this is your oldest?
She's my oldest.
Okay, and did you make a police report when that happened?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay, and was he prosecuted?
No, there was a detective involved, but no, because in order to get him at that time, I had
Just 1 second. Excuse me, everyone, y'all need to whisper. All right, continue.
in order to get him, we had to go through my mother. And so we don't want to do that.
You didn't want to do that? Okay. Did the detective not try to do that? Okay. So nothing ever happened with that case?
You need to answer.
Yeah, you need to, she's taking down what you're saying, Amanda, so you need to say yes or no. You can't like nod your head or shake your head.
Nothing ever happened with that case?
No, it was dropped.
I'll pass this.
Any questions?
No.
All right. This is all very confusing. The story seems to ramble to nowhere. As far as I still don't understand enough about you. And the reason why I ask questions is I ask questions because I need to make a determination whether or not to send you to prison or whether or not to give you deferred adjudication. So that's why I ask these questions.
Yes.
All right. Has there been an evaluation done on her?
Like a tap? I
No,
don't think we had a tap.
mental health.
And none was requested, none was ordered.
All right. Does she need a mental health evaluation?
I honestly don't believe that she does. I think she's had a storied life and bad things are, not good. And she's very nervous, so she's not explaining herself as well as you might wish that she could, but I don't think that's an indication she has mental health issues.
Probation?
Yes, sure. Just give me one.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, there's no need to apologize. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with you because the state is silent. And so I'm trying to figure out whether you should have deferred or not. And in order to do that, I have to ask questions.
Yes.
Your Honor, a mental health evaluation was not conducted.
So have you ever had any mental health issues? Have you ever been evaluated?
No, I don't believe I need to.
I mean, a lot of times people don't think they need to, but sometimes people experience trauma and they experience things differently.
Your Honor, if I may, we do
Yes.
have a TRAS on file, which gives a little bit more information into her background. I can get a credit for you.
All right, if you could, thank you.
Do you want us to step back, Judge?
Yes, and they're gonna print that out and then I'll get a chance to see that, okay?
Just for the record, we don't have any information from the complainant about anything, so we have nothing to offer either way.
Okay, all right, thank you. On this one, they're not ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, the court is recessing at 12. All right, on Martinez. Counsel. Counsel. That's okay. On Martinez, you want to see if the state can bring his file down for you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't need an interpreter also.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes. Yeah, I have it. All right, before you even bring the interpreter down, you need to have the state pull the file and confer with them.
Okay.
And see if y'all can reach an agreement today.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you. I got her the jail, and they'll give her a bond. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I am ready on Miss Christian.
And Judge, I'm not aware of whatever that document is that
Okay.
you got from probation.
Oh, it just gives me some insight into her, if there's mental health issues, behavioral issues.
Is it, do you mind if I look at it really quickly, just so I'm sure the general have a better idea? Thank you, Judge. It's like, now I know what's going on. I mean, most of this is in the pure.
All right, we're back on the record. So after reading your risk assessment, I have an idea of what's going on, and I have an idea of the reason why you were answering my questions the way you were asking them. I mean, answering them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we can give that back to probation. So tell me, what do you do in your spare time?
Stay at home, clean up, care for my children. Husband comes out, I cook.
Do you have any outside interests, reading or something else?
At the moment, no, ma'am. I am a monitor.
Okay.
And I've been on it for a year and something already.
But I mean, before you were placed on monitor?
Yes, I go to the library sometimes or to a park, or I'll just stay home.
Okay. And so I saw that you went to 7th grade.
Yes.
So are you trying to improve yourself with that?
I did at once, but that's when all of this happened with my mother, and I left it. I am now a grandma, so the only thing my goals are to be a good mother and a good grandmother to my children.
All right, I'm gonna want you, if I grant this deferred, I'm gonna want you to either get your GED and work on yourself. You understand?
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2023 CR 4420. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Enrique. I think this is Amada, AHUMADA,
Yes, Ahumada.
and Rosa Amadada. And I didn't see anything in the PSI report with regards to restitution.
We don't have any information, Judge, and I saw in the PSI there wasn't.
There should be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes the parenting classes, then you can waive 50 hours of community service.
Yes.
And I'm also going to order that she obtains her GED or either some type of trade school certificate. And then the remaining 50 hours will be waived. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, a TAP evaluation out of custody, follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. If it recommends intensive outpatient treatment, we'll still start with outpatient treatment. I'm going to require that you get a job. The children are in school. You're going to have to be doing something. You understand?
Yes.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until you have taken the parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes. May I say something more?
Yes.
I just got done doing parenting classes
Well, it depends on when did you finish with parenting classes.
about 2 weeks ago.
All right, you provide that to probation.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be CPS compliance. I'm going to want field visits one time for 3 months. Random thereafter. And the random thereafter will be at least once every 4 months. Probation, is there anything else?
The outpatient treatment that, if, did you want that to be intensive or supportive?
Supportive. And then the BIPP course. And probation, is there anything else?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Am I gonna be on GPS still now?
State?
We're gonna defer to the court, Judge. I don't believe, based on the records, that we've been speaking with the complainants in the case that there have been any violations. But it was not part of our agreement, but we'll defer to the court.
All right, with regards to GPS, once the complainant is notified, then GPS can be removed.
And
But
Judge,
only
if
if the complainant is notified.
they cannot locate the complainants, then what, once they've attempted?
Oh, they'll be able to locate them because my understanding an email was sent, so they'll be able to contact them.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Maybe be excused.
After she goes over conditions,
Right.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Michael Kilgore.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jason. Morning, Judge.
Good morning. So is this a motion to revoke? What's going on?
In front of you. It is an MTR, Judge, but there's two new number ones. Fortunately, there's two cases today that I'm asking for.
No problem.
reset. There may be indication that these weapons that were found during one of the stops that were indicated that they may be used in the homicide or shooting the day or week prior. I just wanted to do my due diligence to make sure that this individual wasn't a suspect in those
Okay.
before I give an offer on that case.
All right, so how much time are you asking for?
I'm asking, actually 2 weeks, Judge, again, or 30 days, whatever defense would prefer.
Judge, whether the state needs 30 days, we're fine with that. We're just asking the court to set a bond on the MTR right now. It's currently remanded without bond. The information that Mr. Gearing is referring to is mentioned in the police reports. That was potentially provided by my client regarding, and I don't think my client's involved in that anyway. It doesn't appear as if he is. He was just arguably in possession of the firearms that could have been used in that, and they don't know if it was or wasn't.
All right, so Lance, can you put this on November 29th? All right, so this will be set for November 29th. With regards to the bond, if you'll take that to Judge Nahara, he'll set it for you.
All right, thank you, Judge. And I can do that this morning, Judge?
Sure, if you go to Judge Nahara.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You said November 29th, Judge?
Yes, November 29th.
I came back with Mr. Garcia, was still not here.
All right, can I see the file on Garza? Deputy Laura, could you make the announcement for Renee Garza in the hallway?
Yes.
Court is calling 2019 CR 1. Oh, sorry, I'll let you. Oh, I'll let you. Huh? Oh, no, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry.
All right, court is calling 2019 CR 13241, State of Texas versus Renee Garza Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Luis Martinez on behalf of Mr. Garcia.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:46 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. Deputy Laura, did you make announcements for the defendant? Defense?
Judge, I've got no contact with Mr. Garcia today. I spoke to him yesterday. I know that he was having car trouble. I informed him that he needed to be here in person. And that was the last I've heard.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we're asking for a bond forfeiture.
That will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
Can we get a date for the reset, Judge, or do we?
No, we don't have a date because he's not here.
We would just, I would like to put on the record that we have a witness from Westlaco PD here, and so if this is a reset, we would like some time to.
All right, could you have your witness come forward and we can go off the record?
Your Honor,
Yes,
we also have the CSO.
okay. All right.
Hey, go next.
Hello, thank you so much for coming down, and probation, thank you for coming down as well. The defendant did not appear for court, so a warrant has been issued for his arrest. So I really can't give anybody a date for us to be back until he's taken into custody. But once he's taken into custody, I'll make sure that you have enough time to appear. But I appreciate it. Let me ask you, would there be any objections if he appeared by Zoom?
Judge, I would have to leave that to my client. I suspect there would be an objection.
All right. So we will make sure that we call you, but thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience for waiting. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Oh, no, we'll get that.
Can you let her know that's a bond forfeiture? Edward Valadez.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've attempted to make contact with my client and I can't. He's scheduled for today.
All right, Deputy Laura, could you make an announcement for Edward Andrew Valdez?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. Hi. Did you show Bashan?
I'm sorry.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yes.
So the next morning after that, I was walking, you got a lot of allies, Judge, in this courthouse, just so you know.
Okay.
But I was walking through the front of the courthouse and the two ladies that scan you when you come in, it's like, hey, where's your ring? And I was like, what? I was like, oh, what?
See?
I said, don't worry, don't y'all be telling on me.
Tell my mom, he didn't even put his ring. Don't want people to know.
I got you today.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 7270A, State of Texas versus Edward Andrew Valdez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Is this a plea, Judge?
No, this is a defendant's not present.
Oh, thank you. Jason Gary.
For the defense?
Amir Memorial, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:50 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and just one moment with Deputy Laura. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Edward Andrew Valdez?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. There's no answer.
All right, state.
State's asking for a bond for virtue, Your Honor.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Maybe excuse, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this is the BF. Richard Murray.
Richard. Morning, Judge.
Good morning. So what is the result on the evaluation?
We haven't gotten it. He couldn't get online like the way that they had wanted, so I made the appearance for him in between the court settings, and they said just to go ahead and they would contact the court to reset the day or something for a new appointment.
All right, well, everybody have a seat because we're not going to leave today until he gets his appointment.
Okay, can I be released to go back to the civil presiding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yes, on this one, Lance, if you could see, he's saying that they want to send to the court his next evaluation date because he missed it. And that's what defense attorney is saying. Yes. Pete Garcia.
Ready, Your Honor. You approaches, right?
Yes.
Oh, and Mr. Angelki is going to stand in as well. He's the appointed attorney on the state jail felony. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hi, I need you up front. So we were hearing at first he was taken into custody by the marshals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's been taken care of because he's here.
Well, it's I believe those became some of these state jail cases, Your Honor. And then you subsequently received a violation report from retrial, I think it was,
Mhm.
and now he's remanded without bond.
Yes,
So
and
I have
there's
a
a-
motion to set bond.
And there's also an affidavit of to surrender surety.
Maybe we can grant that one. That's up to the court.
Yes, so on those, you'll have to speak with Judge Nahara. But where are we on this case? Because I think we were in a different position until the US Marshals came and nobody knew that the Marshals were here and they took him into custody. They tend to go undercover.
That's right.
So there was a schedule for jury trial. on the 20th, September 20th. And then we came back, and that's when he was taken into custody by the marshals.
That's how I remember it.
So where are we on the jury trial?
Judge, I've conferred with counsel today. It doesn't appear that at this time we're going to be able to reach a resolution. There is, and defense is aware of this, there are other sealed cases potentially coming down the pipeline. And so basically we're at a point where I don't think we're gonna be able to resolve it, but we were hoping to resolve all the cases.
All right.
And so, you know, Your Honor, I'm right anytime. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, let's put this for jury trial then. Lance, can we do December 5th?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be back from about the day before, since that's perfect.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be December 5th. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And defense, if you have any issues with the clothing exchange, just let the court know. You're going to have to sign a release in order for them to do your clothing exchange. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. If there's nothing else, state, if you all can make sure that the acknowledgement of discovery, there's no need for a supplemental.
I don't believe so, Judge.
I was wondering if there's a supplemental as it relates to the new cases.
So the new cases, I need to speak with the intake prosecutor who's been assigned them and to see where they are in that process.
Okay.
If those hopefully we'll have it. Urging them to hopefully have a decision on those cases prior to the next step.
Okay, awesome.
And I filed motions too, Your Honor, requesting the notice on stuff, so I'll look out for that and hopefully
All right.
that resolves a lot.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Can we be excused? Can I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, real quick, just so.
It's your case.
Okay, and so he doesn't need to be worried about.
No, the sex case is going to trial.
Okay, I'll be ready. I'm ready.
All right, thank you.
Binder, my poor guy.
All
right.
right.
Waiting for the other cases to get resolved before they stay jailed.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm the attorney on this, on the criminal trial.
Yes, they're going on the sex case for trial.
Okay. And on the other case, the credit card case. Where are we on that?
They're going to jury trial on a sex case on the 5th. So come back on the 5th.
Come back on the 5th.
Yes,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ron Dwayne McKinney. Court is calling 2022 CR 7739, State of Texas versus Ron McKinney. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Teresa Garcia for the defendant.
And are you McKinney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record.
Yes, ma'am.
Is he applying for anything or no?
No, it's gonna be 1224.
All right, so if you all can put and hear that it's Bear County Jail, I'll just be CJ.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah, just if you just put BCJ and if you both can initial that.
Okay.
Because sometimes, oh, no problem, because sometimes when the judgments are done, if that's not there, then,
Oh, no.
you know, Yeah.
Wants to get on with his life.
all right. So I'm going to show you again, True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of criminal mischief, $2,500 to $30,000? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge. This is a case that's been through a lot, and Mr. McKinney has been through a lot through competency and whatnot. Now, I believe that he is able to assist me. Yes.
All right. And do you believe he was sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. McKinney, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 280 days in the Bexar County Jail. And you are to be sentenced under 1244. Did you understand that to be the plea? Offense?
Yes.
State.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
I did.
Because this is,
Yes, ma'am.
did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Yes, Judge, and we have no issue.
Have there been pretrial motions that have been ruled upon?
The competency.
Okay. All right, then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
All right. And state, have you had contact with the complainant?
The complainant in this case is the bibliotech, the library for the county judge. So I haven't spoken with them, but at the time, the officers spoke to them. And my understanding is that it's the defendant's intention to stay away from the bibliotech from here on out.
All right, thank you. And you can continue to confer. Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, that the only thing is that I've known Mr. McKinney now for quite some time. And I've seen him from when he first came in into how he is today. He has acknowledged his mental health and he is actively addressing it. And I'm really proud of that.
All right, how are you addressing it, Mr. McKinney?
Ma'am, I'm adamantly taking my medication, reading up on my diagnosis.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, everyone whisper. If you can't whisper, then do not talk.
Meeting with my, meeting with my, meeting with my case manager, twice a month. Also reading about my, diagnosis and things like that. Staying connected to, church, things of that nature.
Okay. So are you receiving SSI or anything like that?
No, not at the moment. I did file for SSI.
All right, so who is your support system other than your case manager? Do you have family members helping you or?
Yes, ma'am. My sister, my brother, also, man of God, he's a pastor, Reverend John Jordan. It's a good support system. Just a few, but you know, you make it happen. We pray together, converse about, you know, we believe in the law of confession. So the more things you get out, the clearer you're able to see an answer. So.
Okay. All right, let's go off the record for a moment. Excuse me. We're off the record. All right, so the court is going to follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 280 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Make sure you stay in touch with your case manager, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.
Excuse me, I approach on that.
Yes.
So my office got the ball on that. The lady called me, she said, I got a letter that I'm set for today. It's a right to Thurs on the PSI.
Mhm.
I'm moving offices, so it's a bit of a mess. Can we recall that for Monday? It's not her fault. Apparently I didn't know, I mean, I was here earlier. I didn't know I was set. Obviously, my office had notified her of this.
Okay. All right. If you can put this for November 13th.
We'll be here. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. And you'll let her know, of course.
I found out from her.
Okay.
So that inspires confidence.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8797W, 2023 CR 8796W, 2022 CR 7605, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Alvarez. Can our parties approach and announce for the record?
Hank Wilkins for the state yard.
Defense?
Neil Kalfas on behalf of Mr. Alvarez.
You on that side, Mr. Calkins. All right, we're here for sentencing.
And Judge, I know we're here for sentencing today, and we're certainly ready to be sentenced if that's what the court pleases. Mr. Alvarez and his family has asked me if it would be possible any way he could get past the holidays, or at least through some of them.
No.
Very well, Your Honor.
All right. So you entered a plea in cause number 2023 CR 8797W. The court will follow your agreement. And Mr. Alvarez, I want you to know that I don't take any of this lightly as far as when there's a request for people to wait to be sentenced, maybe after holidays or something of the, or some other date. But you entered a plea to be sentenced on October 5th. And now a month has passed. So that is why we're going to go forward with sentencing, okay? So I wanted you to know that I internalize your counsel's requests and I actually really strongly consider it, okay? All right. So in cause number 2023 CR 8797W, the court is going to follow your agreement, sentence you to 9 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 8796W and (2022) CR 7605. Take in consideration the following night mag numbers: 704498, 704692, 727545. And I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own, Hank, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2023 CR 8796W. The court will follow your agreement. Court will sentence you to 9 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 8797W. Take in consideration night mag number 704498, 704692, 727545. And this will also run concurrent with 2022 CR 7605. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so have you all discussed the motion to revoke?
I was gonna learn. All right. Yes, you're just gonna feature. We did, but maybe we did. It was Maybe we didn't, yeah. I thought we were just. Dismissing.
All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7605. Mr. Alvarez, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. First amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, and second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. And counsel, could you do a trial court certification?
I will, Judge.
Okay. It's on the wall. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Mark Anthony Tino Alvarez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 7605 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on November 2nd, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
All right, state.
This is on the first amended, Judge. This is violated condition number 4. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Anthony Tino Alvarez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April and May 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motions.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you understand by pleading? That's okay.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, sir.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor, we're asking that you grant the motion and the MTR can concurrent with the other cause, Judge.
And how much time are you asking?
9 years, Judge.
All right. Mr. Alvarez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. And did you understand the court will find violation of condition number 4 true. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 9 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 8796W and 2023 CR 8797W. Just one moment. Court will give you credit for any time served. And was the fee for the lab ever paid, the $228?
I don't know the answer to that, Your Honor.
Not sure, Judge.
Okay. Probation?
Yes, sir.
And cause number 2022 CR 7605, was the $228 for laboratory testing paid?
Is still outstanding.
All right, so there's going to be restitution of $228 to the lab for testing. And I'll have that run concurrent with your sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because it is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Alvarez, I realize that 9 years is a long time. Honestly, any time that you do in custody, that's a long time, even if it's one day. it's a day out of your life. So you're gonna have to start making better decisions. Otherwise, when you come back, you're gonna get to the point where you're in the habitual status, and your counsel will tell you, when you're marked as a habitual, in a majority of felony cases, your minimum is going to be 25 years. And that's a super long time, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right,
Have
you're welcome.
excuse?
Yes, thank you. Excuse me, we can't have that in the courtroom.
Richie.
Nicholas Corpus. All right, who is the attorney for Nicholas Corpus? All right. All right, we're here for sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just give me one moment. I'm sorry, just 1 second. My computer is working slow.
Technology.
Mm-hmm. Here it is. Was a PSI done on this case?
Judge, we elected to go on criminal history only,
Okay.
to be able to have an earlier date.
All right, could I have the criminal history?
Yes, Judge, absolutely.
Yeah, I gave it back.
Yeah, Judge, speak 2 minutes.
Sure. Thank you.
Right to the last page for you, which you write.
So is this the only, just 1 second, I found it. Okay.
Thank you. Judge.
Thank you. All right, we're on the record in 2023 CR 7339, State of Texas versus Nicholas Corpus. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense.
Linda Corley for Mr. Corpus.
And are you Mr. Corpus?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Nicholas Isaiah Corpus.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on October 16th. And the court requested the criminal history because otherwise PSIs are taking a long time because there are a lot.
Yes, Your Honor.
And according to the plea bargain agreement, there's to be a cap of 7 years and the state is silent on your application. There's an affirmative finding and no contact with Brittany Flores. All right, the court has had a chance to review the criminal history. Defense, anything you want to say on behalf of your client or any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, I do have some witnesses.
Yes, call your first witness.
Thank you. I can call Alberto Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Alberto Rodriguez.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. Just step back for a second here. Okay. Alberto, how do you know Nicholas?
He's my neighbor, been my neighbor for 19 years and good friend.
How old was he when you first met him?
He was about 15 years old when they first moved in there.
And so you've known him for quite a long time for his life.
I have.
All right. And how did you first meet him?
It's a kind of a funny story. When they first moved in, Nick was outside mowing the lawn and fixing my mind because I came out and I was gonna start mowing my lawn too or something, and he comes over and says, "Hey, I'll do your yard for $5. And I thought, $5? What's going on? And I said, no, that's okay. Not because I didn't want him to do it, but because I said, his parents are probably gonna think I'm a jerk because I'm letting him do my big yard for $5. So that's kind of how we started our relationship.
So you've known him into his adulthood, correct?
I'm sorry?
You've known him into his adulthood, right?
Yes.
You told me he was kind of like a grandson to you. Would that be accurate?
That's how I see him. Yeah.
All right. So how have you seen him interacting as he's lived there in the neighborhood?
He's younger than most of us. Our neighborhood is mostly semi-retired or retired, so he's the youngest probably person in the block. But he's never had any problems with anybody that I know of because, you know, he gets along pretty much with everybody that I see him with.
Okay, so you also mentioned that he offers to help you a lot, the neighbors.
He does. Anytime I'm doing something, he comes out there and wants to, you need help, or, can I help you? If you need anything, let me know. One time I bought a TV and it was a big old TV and I was trying to carry it in the house, and he comes out there and says, hey, let me help you. Lets me carry it in the house and everything. So that kind of stuff. And putting out Christmas decorations. Even my wife even tells him, Nick, if you see Albert out there, don't let him get on a ladder. Call me. I said, okay.
All right, and so you've also seen him helping other friends.
Yes, his friends come over often. And he offers to help everybody. So he says his friends come over a lot to have their car worked on because he's a pretty good mechanic and a little jack of all trades kind of. And they come and get their cars fixed all the time. And he does it quite often. He works on his own cars. He likes to work on cars and stuff. So they come over. He's got a little computer and stuff, hooks it up and tells them what's wrong and helps them fix it.
Just outside of helping people, you also have a lot of talks with him. Is that right?
Yes, because growing up, it's kind of hard, and we just sit out there, and talk about life and different things that that are going on with him. His jobs and stuff like that.
Asking for advice.
Yeah. Yes, and I try to give as best as I know through my own experiences.
And you know, today, we talked about why he's here, that he is charged with a felony choking family violence with his girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, and so we're here today asking the judge to not send him to prison and to allow him to have deferred so he wouldn't be a convicted felon.
That's right.
Why do you think that he's lived his life, so he deserves to have that chance?
Because like I say, he's helpful. He's a good kid in my eyes. I've never seen anything wrong. He's always polite. Always says hello, how you doing, and what's going on and stuff like that. So I don't see the benefit of him having to go to jail over, you know, I don't know the circumstances completely of whatever happened, only what I hear, but I know Nick, and I think he would do good. He's a good kid.
But you say you don't know the circumstances, but we've talked about the case, right?
Yes, we did.
So you understand that the allegation is that he choked his girlfriend, Brittany, multiple times. You know, on and off over a 30-minute period is the allegation. On and off for a few minutes in 10 or 15 intervals. That's what she's accused him of.
Yes.
And that saying that he hit her eye. You know that she had a black eye.
Correct.
All right. And so you're aware of all the allegations.
I am.
And you still think that he deserves to have a chance for deferred?
Yes, ma'am, I still do. To say that I think Nick is still a good person inside, and I think he would do well still.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Call your next witness.
Yeah, that's a full Tennessee. Thank you. Renee Gruba, yes, I know I'm not saying that correctly.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Rene Covarrubias.
All right.
Can you spell your last name for the court?
It's Covarrubias.
IAS?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And how do you know Nicholas?
Nicholas has been my neighbor for the past 3 years. He's been a real good friend.
Okay. And can you tell the court a little bit about his interactions in the neighborhood and with you?
He's real friendly with everybody. I don't know anybody who has any problems with him. It's like he's always willing to help everybody. Been times where I've been working on my cars. I don't even call him or anything. He'd be passing by. He stops and gives me wrenches or whatever. He starts working on cars with me. I've had him at my house for barbecues and stuff, and never had any problems with him. He's always friendly like with everybody.
Okay. And so his mom also lives there with him. Is that correct? Is his mom?
Yes.
Okay. And can you know a little bit about his mom and her situation? Can you tell the court about that?
Pretty much, she has cancer, so he pretty much spends his day to helping her with everything she needs. So pretty much that's his it's a care provider, pretty much almost.
Okay. And he also is a pet owner.
He has a Shar-Pei that's actually paralyzed, and he actually manually has to help the dog so he could relieve himself and stuff. And pretty much that's almost like his kid, pretty much.
And so he helps other people in the neighborhood as well. Is that right? You can express that.
Yes, it doesn't matter what job it is or if it's dirty or not. He's always willing to go, and without you even asking him, he starts helping out and everybody. And it doesn't matter where it is. If he has to drive somewhere else and they help you, he'll do it. It's like with nothing in return. Pretty much that's what he is.
Is there anything else you'd like the court to know?
There was one instance where we were actually helping them move to one of the houses.
Who's them?
We were helping Nicholas and Brittany. And while we were moving the stuff, Brittany was carrying a box in front of, and she was in front of us, and she tripped and fell forward. As Nicholas tried to help her, she actually got kind of aggressive and pushed him back. All he did was kind of move back, and we just kind of like said, you know what, let her cool down. That's one thing that I did notice that was kind of odd or awkward.
Have you ever noticed him in any aggressive or violent interactions with anyone?
I haven't. Everybody, they hang along with him. It's like no, I don't know how you could hate him or anything because he's always friendly. He's always willing to help everybody.
You understand he's charged with
Yes, I
choking
do.
Brittany,
Yes, I do.
and that's a felony offense.
Yes, I do.
And we talked about the circumstances of what exactly she alleged happened. Is that right?
Yes, but it just doesn't seem like it's in his character. He's never been aggressive towards anybody.
And you understand that we're asking the judge not to send him to prison, but to give him an opportunity at deferred, which would save him from being a convicted felon.
Yes.
Why do you think the judge should take a chance on him?
Because he's a real good neighbor. He's always willing to help everybody. And it's like I said, it's not one of those where he's helping people because he expects to get paid or anything. He's out there just to help everybody. He goes to church, he goes everything. That's why when they told me about this, it just seems so out of character.
I'll pass the witness.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. And my final witness is Eduardo Garcia.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Eduardo Garcia.
Defense.
Thank you, Judge. Eduardo, how do you know Nicholas?
I've known Nick for 13 years. I met him first at the gym.
Okay, and so you continued a friendship from that?
Yes, ma'am. We've continued a friendship for the past like 13 years. We've also attended church together. I invited him on an Acts retreat to St. Paul's, and he went. And since then, he has become a member of the Armor of God Society at St. Paul's. We meet on Wednesdays and Saturday mornings.
Okay, and what is that group?
So if you've been on an Acts retreat or if you just want to get closer to God, we invite men to congregate to praise and worship and just honor God.
And so how long has he been participating in that?
The Armor of God meetings, probably 8 months, 9 months, somewhere in there.
And have you ever seen him have interactions with people that are confrontational, aggressive, or violent?
No, ma'am.
You also said that when we were talking that you believe he would be able to be successful at probation. Why did you feel that?
To me, he's demonstrated character, consistency. I own a construction business, and Nick has worked several jobs for me. Never let me down on one of the jobs. So I feel he's consistent.
So he's made commitments to you and always followed through?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you'd like the judge to know?
I just don't believe what he's being accused of. He's never demonstrated any violence to me. I've never seen him raise his temper. I've never seen him raise his voice. It just seems completely out of character to me.
And we've discussed the charge and what the allegations are.
Yes, ma'am.
Detailed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think the judge should take a chance on him and allow him to have a chance at deferred instead of convicting him or sending him to prison?
Nick is a good guy. He, like I said, has never let me down. I know he won't let you down. He's just distributed or been really good character and a really good guy.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Just 2 questions, Your Honor. Sir, were you aware that the defendant's statements on scene were that she punched herself in the face?
Was I aware of this?
Were you aware of that statement?
I believe you told me yes.
That he had said she punched herself in the face?
No, I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
And were you aware that she wasn't able to open up her swollen eye for over a week after the incident? Were you aware of that?
No, sir.
No further questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any further witnesses, Judge, just argument.
All right. The state is silent. The court will hear argument.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, and just to bring your attention, you are aware that my client did plead no contest. I know a lot of people plead no contest just because their attorneys tell them, but really what I explain to my clients is what no contest means is I don't agree with this, but I'm not going to fight about it. And we also worked in conjunction with the prosecutor in his plea paperwork. We took out the statement saying that everything was true and correct because we don't necessarily agree with the allegations, but my client decided that he would rather go forward with you, Judge, rather than go into a trial because he does not want to risk a felony conviction. He very much wanted to apply for deferred. As you see on his criminal history, the only thing he's ever had on it was a a marijuana charge, which was deferred dismissed, so he successfully completed that probation. And that was when he was much younger. He has not had any other drug cases or any other kind of cases until this allegation came about. And so, Judge, what I wanted to do, the reason why we wanted to have these witnesses is because I wanted to put in front of you not just a defendant who is charged with a felony choking case. I wanted you to see the man that he has been and the way he's lived his life. And I understand there's a statement and the complainant, Brittany, had made many statements. I'm hoping, based on his history, based on the way he has lived his life, that although there is this one incident, that you'll give him this one opportunity to defer. I think that he does deserve it. Judge, and I, based on my experience with him and all the conversations I've had with the people that know him, I do believe he will be successful. He was certainly successful before, and I do believe he will still be successful if you'll give him an opportunity to not have a felony conviction, which will stop him from having the good jobs that he's had. It will cause so many problems, and I don't think that's the best for the community. I know that you can put whatever conditions that you feel would be safe. He, the only firearm that he had, at the house, was left with the complainant, Brittany, and she, we don't really know what happened to that. We got word from the family that they had turned it into SAPD. We can't get any confirmation on that. He is not in possession of any firearms. He has no intention to be in possession of any firearms. I did note on the medical issues, I just wanted to make the court aware, she has said that she's had ongoing headaches besides the emotional difficulties that she described, the physical problems, and that she's gone to clinics and such and has spent some money. She was prior in an accident where she went through the windshield, and she's always had the headaches since then, and the physical problems. So whether or not anything else contributed, Judge, I just thought the court should know that we're not opposed to paying restitution if the judge gives them an opportunity to do the deferral of probation, to take care of whatever's needed. I'm sure she has receipts and that sort of thing. Judge, I would just implore you to please give this man a chance to not be a convicted felon. I don't think you'll regret it.
All right. So what I can tell you, Mr. Corpus, is you're not going to be leaving the courtroom today. Either you're going to prison, or either I'm placing you on probation and you're going to ISF. So I have some questions.
It's a drug.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you
Yes, ma'am.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand. What happened that day?
So that day, I came home from work.
And just so you know, if you veer off and you are not truthful, the state, even though they're silent, they'll get a chance to ask questions of you. So what happened that day?
So I worked all day. I got home about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. I started cutting the grass at our new home that we had. I was outside, I had my music on. I had bought a 6-pack of beer for me, 6-pack of beer for Brittany. I was waiting for her to get home so that we can go out and buy dinner together. She got home, and normally what I do is that I'm the cooker. I cook and I wash dishes, and that's my job while she studies, because she's currently going to school. Well, she came home in a very bad mood. She asked what was her dinner. I didn't cook it because I was tired and I wanted to buy us dinner. She went inside, slammed the door. I stayed outside listening to my music. I went inside a little while later. I said, what would she like for dinner? She said she didn't want no more dinner. I said, okay, I'm gonna go back outside. I went outside and I started drinking my beer. After I drank one beer, I went back in, said, baby, I would like to cook you dinner. I'm sorry I didn't cook it. Said, no, this and that. She just started acting irate. She normally does. She has an anger issue that I've been dealing with it for the past 13 years, being with Brittany. About 8 to 10 years, her living with me and my mother, and the rest with us going to different apartments and different houses together. So I broke up with her. I got tired of the way she treats me.
No, we're back to that night, because you didn't break up with her that night,
I
did
broke
you?
up with her that night.
All right.
And that's where the where the argument started, because we had just purchased the house and our new vehicles together. So I ended up leaving her with the mortgage. that
No, no,
took
no.
the,
When you say you broke up with her that night, what did you say?
that I'm leaving you, I'm packing my things and I'm taking my dogs with me
Okay.
and I'm leaving. And she's gonna have to pay for the house herself, the cars herself, because she states so much that it's her house, they're her cars. So I left her with it. And that's where she wouldn't let me pack my things. I was putting my clothes in my bags, packing up my dog's wheelchair, packing up my animals, their beds. And that's when she kept pulling me back, grabbing my clothes, throwing my bag on the floor. When I would try to leave, she ended up tackling me on the sofa, the rest of the round. Got up, got tired of her hitting me. I walked out the door. I said, I'm gonna call the cops on you. I'm tired of you. This is the last time that you hit me. We're literally fed up with it.
Did you call the cops?
I shouldn't have opened my mouth because when I went outside to call the police, I dialed 911. And I didn't want to ruin her life because I know she has a very good career. So I decided not to. But where I messed up is that I told her I was going to call the cops and they were going to take away her concealed handgun license for assaulting me. So I decided not to. I called my mother, told her what happened. She told me just to get my things and leave. I said, no, I can't leave. I drink a beer already, so I'm not gonna drink and drive. I'm gonna wait here till the morning. I'm gonna sleep outside in the porch with my dogs, and I'll leave in the morning. I'll go to your house. About an hour or two later, the police get there, and I was still outside on the porch with my dogs, and she was inside screaming, yelling, just acting insane. And then they told me that they're there for me, not for her.
Okay. So how did her eye get swollen?
So one thing that I have been dealing with for years already with her is she's a self-inflicting kind of person.
So how did her eye get swollen?
So I would say that she was inside slapping herself, hitting herself. I can't say punching or slapping because I wasn't there.
So are you saying that you never hit her, you never choked her? Because that's what we're here for.
Yes, ma'am, I do understand this. And it is something that I've been dealing with for years with her mental issues. With
My
her
question
self-inflicting
is,
harm.
are you saying that you didn't hit her? Yes or no?
I am saying that I did not hit her, Your Honor.
Are you saying that that you choked her? Yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Well, it sounds like he should be in a jury trial.
Judge, we discussed that, but why did you not, may I ask him some questions, Judge?
Sure.
Why did you choose not to go to trial?
I chose not to go to trial because I don't think anybody's going to believe me. And 9 times out of 10, when you hear about something like this, normally you take the woman's side and you don't never believe the man.
Oh, I listen. Let me stop you right there.
I'm not saying you yourself.
Okay,
I
because
apologize.
everybody will tell you, I evaluate everything.
I apologize saying you.
Okay, Judge, we were asking why he didn't want to go to trial, so he's referring to the jury. He decided to go in front of you because, well, I've discussed that you do listen.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't want a conviction on my record because of my good jobs that I've had throughout my career. I've been an outer body technician. I've also been an electrical engineer working for the San Antonio State Hospital for the past 6 years. I paint cars. I'm also a mechanic. You name it, I can probably do it all. I've had all kinds of trades under my belt, and with this conviction, it would make it to where I probably wouldn't be able to get a good, decent job anymore, or actually work for the state ever again if I were to become a convicted felon.
And Judge, we discussed the difference between getting a conviction and having deferred, and that the only opportunity for him to have deferred would be to waive his right to a jury trial and go to the judge. I do have some additional questions.
Sure.
You're aware that Brittany has stated that she doesn't feel safe anywhere,
Yes, ma'am, I am aware.
but there have been a couple of occasions when she's come over to your house where you're living with your mom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the first occasion?
Objection relevance, this is post date of incident, correct? The question you just asked is post incident.
It is, however, since the judge.
All right, that'll be overruled. You can answer the
Thank
question.
you, Judge. I'm sorry. Can you tell us about the first occasion?
Yes, ma'am. About 6 days after I was released, give or take a few days, I was there at my mother's house, and
What were you doing?
I was outside. I just got home from my sister's house. She lives a block away. She cooked me dinner. And I ate dinner. It was about 9:30 at night by the time I got home. She lives 1 block away from my mother's. I got home and she was parked outside my house. And she had asked me to get back with her, and that if I did, that she wouldn't press charges. And as she was doing that, I took out my cell phone and I started recording her and her car and her license plate with her voice in there. I wasn't able to catch what she was saying because by the time I started recording her, she started leaving.
And did you make a report?
And I made the police report and I showed the video to the officer, and he actually recorded it on his body camera with my phone in his body camera.
Okay.
And then
The second event?
2 weeks ago, I was outside my mother's house cutting grass. And she ended up passing by again and stopped to see how I was doing. She said, "Oh, you're cutting grass, huh?"
And what did you do?
I made the police report and I took down her license plate number, and they came and they gave me a case number and told me just to relay it whenever it came down to it.
Have you, since this case, reached out to her at all?
No, ma'am, I have not.
And do you have any firearms in your possession?
No, ma'am, I have 0 firearms in my possession.
You had 1 firearm at the time of the incident. What happened to that?
That firearm at the incident, I left it there with Brittany. And my
So do
mother,
you know what happened to it with personal knowledge?
I do not know.
What did your mother told you something. What did she tell you?
When my mother went to pick up my paralyzed animal, her mother was at the door.
Brittany's mother?
Yes, along with Brittany herself. And they told my mom that they turned in my firearm to SAPD.
Have you been able to confirm that with the SAPD?
No, ma'am, I've been calling property, but I haven't been able to get an answer.
And why did you want to know? What were you worried about?
I'm worried about what actually happened to it because she has a very dysfunctional family, drug addict brothers and sisters, and I just can't trust those people when they're the kind of people that they are.
And was the gun registered in your name?
It is registered under my name, yes, ma'am.
And so you just wanted to make sure it was in safe hands?
That's it. I just want to make sure they actually turned it in because I don't want them to turn around and use it and it go against me, and I don't want to get in trouble for something that I have not done.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
Any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may just bifurcate my questions into 2 separate fact inquiries. Defense kind of opened it up, so we'll talk about post date of incident. You've conferred with your attorney, correct, and gone over defenses you can provide, and she's gone over the evidence with you, correct?
Yes.
And are you aware that the complainant told the DA's office that she actually believed this was attempted murder and that you threatened to stab her and shoot her that night? Were you aware that she told the DA's office that?
Yes, that's what I actually had on
Yes,
the
that's perfect.
protection
No, I
order.
appreciate you answering that. Thank you.
Judge, he can answer the question.
All right, so everyone. Just answer questions. Everybody calm down. I have listened to everything. I read the reports. So just answer, let him answer, and we'll go from there.
Okay, you can give your full answer now to that question.
Can you ask me the question one more time?
I'm happy to move on to the next one.
Judge, I'd like him to have an opportunity to answer the question.
All right, so ask your question, counsel.
The same one, Your Honor.
You can either ask the same one or you can ask the next one.
I'll ask the next one. Thank you, Judge. Were you aware that as recently as October 6, 2023, the complainant has told us that she still has safety concerns as they relate to you?
I'm not aware because I'm not in contact with her at all, in what means whatsoever. October 6th was just a month ago. And no, I'm not aware.
You recently just spoke on the record about, she basically tackled you on the couch and sofa. You actually had an opportunity to speak with police that night, correct?
Yes, sir.
And does it surprise you that the word sofa or couch is nowhere mentioned in the entirety of their police report?
It does not surprise me.
The night began, again, just speaking to facts, the night began with you drinking beers with the victim's brother, is that correct?
No, I didn't.
Okay, how did the night begin?
The night began with me getting home that night and me not cooking dinner because I was tired, but I started cutting grass instead, and I was waiting for her to get home so we can buy dinner.
Does it surprise you that you told officers that the night started because you guys were drinking beers together and he left because he was crazy just like her? Do you remember saying that to officers?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you remember saying that when the complainant got home, she started, quote, just hitting herself in the face for no reason. Do you remember saying that to officers?
I do remember that.
Do you remember calling her a psycho?
Yes,
Do you remember saying that you never hit her?
yes,
Do you remember saying that you had no reason why her eye was swollen to such a great extent that she actually couldn't even open it? After you had previously said that she punched herself in the face. Remember kind
But
of those
there's-
conflicting
see,
accounts?
like, I can understand why we're.
So let me break it down, absolutely. First, you told officers that she started just punching herself in the face for no reason. Then you said you had no idea why her eye was swollen. Do you have any recollection as to why you gave conflicting accounts?
Because she started doing it when I had told her that I'm going to call the police on her and have them take away her concealed handgun license for assaulting me.
And then do you remember the officers noting that they believed you were intoxicated, even though you just spoke to only having one beer?
Well, no, actually, I told the officers I had that one beer, and when I went outside on the porch, I started drinking myself to sleep on the concrete porch. So I can stay home, wake up the next morning, pack up my things, and go to my mother's house.
So does it surprise you that both the victim and the officer on scene believed you to be drunk that night?
Well, like I said, I started drinking myself to sleep on the concrete porch. So I was not inebriated. It was a 6-pack. I believe I was on beer number 4 or 5.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am. I work for Dr. Richard Kimball Hinojosa, for Richards Electric.
Mhm.
But one thing that's gonna cause an issue is that he's moving to West Virginia. So I'm going to need to find another place of employment, in which I was hoping that my ex-brother and friend, Mr. Danny Garcia, would hopefully be able to employ me with this company.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Brittany Flores. 10 years deferred adjudication, the BIPP course, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no harmful or injurious, there's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, GPS partial for employment until further notice. There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months, regular UAs, TAP evaluation while in custody, follow all recommendations from TAP. What's the wait time for ISF cognitive?
Your Honor, it's about 40 days.
All right. And he is to be ISF cognitive track. Probation, is there anything else? Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, you are not to have any contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I fully understand.
Your relationship with her is over. She doesn't want to be with you. You've informed the court you do not want to be with her. Do you understand?
I understand. Your
There's
Honor.
to be no contact with her through third parties. There's to be no contact with her mother, her relatives, or anyone that she knows. If you see her and if she's at the HEB, you need to leave the HEB. You understand? If you see her walking on the sidewalk, you need to go in the opposite direction. Do you understand?
I understand.
There's to be no card sent to her saying, I'm sorry. There's to be no flowers for old time's sake. It is as if you do not know her. If you have contact with her, you're looking at potentially 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Here.
Yes.
It is for cognitive.
Yes.
For that one, it's 1 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Little less.
Yes.
We go without in versus
Yes.
state.
Yes.
Okay.
No, just a small thing. The victim impact you under, if that is okay. If you can go do it from the second row.
Yes, but she'll have to wait.
Okay.
All right. because they take him to the back. So just wait till probation goes over his conditions with him. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna bring them in now. Yes. Yes. Hmm? No. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 0064, State of Texas versus Christopher Dean Ritchie. And then after this, we'll take up the compliance. No problem. Court is calling 2023 CR 0064, State of Texas versus Christopher Dean Ritchie. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Marshall D. White, Mr. Christopher Richardson.
And are you Christopher Ritchie?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, so I'm gonna have to ask you all not to approach when we're on the record. Mr. Ritchie, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Are you the same Christopher Dean Ritchie Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 0064 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on January 12, 2023 for 3 years?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 2 on or about the 19th day of April 2023 in Medina County, Texas. The defendant, Christopher D. Ritchie Jr., did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, court supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motion.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking that you revoke the defendant and alter and amend conditions for 1244 conviction with credit for time served for 67 days, Judge.
All right, is that your agreement?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court, as previously stated, is filing violation of condition number 2 true. All right, you all need to whisper. The court going to grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 67 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. And the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Ritchie, if you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of free places that can help you with that. If you do not get help for that, the last time you use may be the last time you use. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, you too. All right, probation, who is the person with the compliance?
Which name do you want, Your Honor?
Okay. All right, Mr. Trinidad.
And that's Ms. Chavez.
All right, Ms. Chavez. Ms. Chavez? I don't think she can hear. Ms. Chavez, are you able to hear? Yes. All right, Ms. Chavez, are you able to hear? All right, Mr. Trinidad, can you unmute yourself? All right, are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
All right, Mr. Trinidad, I
Yes, ma'am.
understand that the complainant in the case wants to have contact with you so you all can co-parent your son together. Can you tell me,
ma'am.
have you all had any couples therapy or any type of group therapy?
No, ma'am.
All right. Are you able to get group therapy or couples therapy with her and family therapy?
Sure, we can do that.
All right. So this is what I'll do. I will allow you to have contact with her and the other parties that are listed for purposes of family therapy, but not outside of family therapy. Once the therapist sends a note to me or sends information to probation that therapy is going well and that they think that it's okay for you all to have contact outside of the court's orders, I will strongly consider doing that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. So I want you to have family therapy and couples therapy, and you can have contact for that purpose and that purpose only. And once the court has information that those are going well, then the court will strongly consider doing the no harmful or injurious contact. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right. And does that sound fair to you?
Yes, it does.
All right. So that's what we'll do in that case. All right. All right, Ms. Chavez, are you able to hear me? Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
All right. So Ms. Chavez, of course, on my end, I have to make sure that everybody's protected. And I know sometimes police are called to events and everyone is calling the police because they just want everybody to settle down or cooling off period. So I'm going to allow him to have contact with you for one purpose only, and that's for family therapy or couples therapy. Once the court receives information from that therapist that things are going well and there are no concerns, I will strongly consider lifting my no contact order outside of therapy. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. So once that's done, that's what we'll do. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
All right.
How do I exit?
There you go. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Just 1 second. Are you here for Angel Montoya?
No, ma'am.
All right. Once you have them put the file up, I'll take it. Okay.
I need to do that now.
Oh, go do that. We'll call you back for Monday. Angel Montoya, he needs to stay till we take care of it. Angel Montoya. So are you all taking the care of the motion to revoke today?
We have an agreement if the court approves it.
All right, just give me a moment. When the court reporter comes back, we'll take out. So just 1 second for her to come back.
Slip you a note.
Hmm?
Slip you a note.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
My paralegal asked if your hair color was different. So I guess I'm gonna report back, it's a little lighter.
It depends, whatever happens, the way the light hits it.
Yeah, well, that's what made me think of it. I forgot it was supposed to look, but but it is. You get back in your house yet?
No. It will probably be maybe February or something.
What kind of leak was it?
Hmm?
What kind of leak was it?
Oh, in the master bath. And it happened while I was out visiting mom.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and I need to see the file on Renee Gardia. Richard Flores Murray. It's Richard Flores Murray, 2023 CR 3730. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 10494W, State of Texas versus Angel Montoya. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Shotgun for the state.
Defense?
Ed Piker from Miss Montoya.
Are you Angel Montoya? Going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Angel Montoya who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 10494W for the offense of possession of marijuana 4 ounces to 5 pounds on September 24th, 2019 for a period of 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
On or about the 27th day of January 2021, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Angel Montoya, did then and there fail to complete 50 hours of community service restitution in violation of condition number 14.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Did you understand? I'm sorry. Are you waiving the other allegations?
Your Honor, the state waives and abandons the other allegations.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 14, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 14? Court will find violation of condition number 14 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, there is, Judge. I've spoken with probation and I've spoken with counsel for the state. And we agree as well with the recommendation that her probation be terminated unsatisfactorily.
All right, what has she done?
Judge, what she has done is that while she was on probation, she had another incident out of Kendall County shortly after that. She spent 18 months in prison in Plain State in Dayton, Texas. She was recently released in July. And since that time, and having spent that time in prison, she's changed her whole way of thinking and doing. When she was released, she was put on UAs for every week, no problems. Now she's on random, no problems. I asked her if I offered her up today for you to prove to yourself that she is clean and sober. She's perfectly willing right now to step up and do a drug test.
All right.
She's just done with that life.
All right, based upon the probation's recommendation and agreement, the court will find violation of condition number 14 true. The court will terminate her unsatisfactorily. What is happening with 2022 CR 0054?
Judge, 2 days ago, Mr. Dunn and I spoke. I brought to him new evidence, not new evidence that we had found, but we were waiting on getting the evidence because the person that we were getting the evidence from was incarcerated himself, but I've had 2 conversations with him since then. And the information he is giving me is material and substantial to this allegation. And I am giving that information to Mr. Dunn to interview my witness.
All right. So with regards to the cause number 2022 CR 0054, if we can get a reset on that for November 30th. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, go. All right.
Deputy Laura, could you announce Renee Gardia in the hallway, please? Mary. Court is calling 2023 CR 3278, State of Texas versus Renee Gardia. Could I have someone from the state, please?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. It's 12:14 p.m. State, what are you requesting?
Requesting a bond forfeiture, Judge.
All right, Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, there's someone in the hallway.
All right, then the court will grant the request for a bond forfeiture and remand her without bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, could you make the announcement for Richard Murray? I'm sorry.
Judge is here.
Oh.
This attorney had approached earlier. We're pending the status of the cycle now.
Oh, okay, thank you.
From Angela.
Yes.
And so waiting your review with Dr. Jumas. Dr. Jumas does his own scheduling, so I assume within a few weeks.
All right, so we'll recall it for December 4th. Is that? Okay. Thank you, Lance. And then could I see the file on Brian Maldonado? And Stevie Stokes? And Lance on Stevie Stokes, where are you? All right, your attorney is actually currently in a jury trial. So we're gonna recall you.
Richie?
And so on Stevie Stokes, let's just set that for December 4th. His attorney is in that capital. Okay. Mr. Stokes, we're going to recall your case for December 4th. Your counsel is currently in another jury trial. Tyree Ranford. Hello. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 6906, State of Texas versus Tyree Joseph Ranford. Could our parties announce for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Ranford.
And are you Tyree Ranford?
I am.
All right, you entered a plea on September 28th of no contest and also a plea of true to the enhancement. And we're now here for sentencing. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and the state is silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Judge.
Any objections?
We don't have any objection.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
So I explained to Mr. Ranford what the court's policy is, and that many people ask you, why would you ever want to be on probation in the 187th? Because when you mess up, you're going to prison. and that you make the prison probation conditions very, very difficult. I've explained all that to him, and I told him that you don't play around, that he will be drug tested, that he will be checked throughout this thing if you give him the privilege of having probation. He said he understood that and he wanted to still apply. He also wrote a letter to you that he would like for you to consider to read. He thinks he would be a good candidate for probation because he's already getting too old to be messing around anymore, and he doesn't want to end his life having chronic back pain and trying to treat it himself. I don't know if you wanted him to read it to you or if you want me to tender it to the court.
If there's no objection,
No objection, Your Honor.
all right, and if I could see the letter. All right, anything else you wish to say, Mr. Ranford?
Well, no, ma'am.
All right, so sometimes I can give people choices, sometimes I cannot give them choices. It's obvious to the court that you have a drug issue, right? So if you want help for your drug issue, the court will give you help for your drug issue. Or if you would like, what I can do is I will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Which would you prefer? Okay. There's an application for deferred adjudication. So with your application for deferred adjudication, if you are unsuccessful, then the full range of punishment will be open to the court, which is up to 20 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be the UA hotline. This is to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 698-064. Taking consideration 707108, NIMAG numbers 709-145-722-670, grand jury number 804-578, proof of employment within 30 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No, no.
Will you be living with someone if you're released?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who would you be living with?
My father.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me see what the TAP evaluation tells us. All right. There's going to be a transfer to SATA. So you're going to stay in custody until you transfer it to SATA. And we can also do a referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court has a wait list, so they're probably not going to be able to accept you. So you'll be going to SATA. And upon release, I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits, 1 time per month for 4 months. And then within probation's discretion thereafter. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, no.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. You're going to have to make better decisions from here on out. Everything that you do,
Yes,
you need to
ma'am.
ask yourself, could it result in you going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and in this court, to be successful, your counsel probably told you communication is key. If you have an issue, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come to court, okay? All right, good luck to you.
That big excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, did they give you the TIC forms?
I don't remember. Yeah.
I'll-
All right. All right, so after we're taking our lunch break because we have jury trial starting up at 1:30. Everyone else, we'll take care of your cases during our break. Dinah, you can go have lunch.
That you want to do the elocution after.